god. Okay, so I think I've kind of figured it out a little bit. Um, this is after post nut clarity. Okay, whatever. Shut up. So, basically, it works like this, right? There are like a few time frames. Okay, there is a macro time frame. There is a higher time frame. There is a middle time frame, and there's a lower time frame. Okay, so there's about 4 time frames in total. What they are basically there's a monthly candle, right? There is weekly candle, okay, and then we've got daily candle, and then we've got the hourlies, okay. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to trade within the weekly candle using within the monthly candle using weekly bias, daily CRT, and then entering on the hourly. Okay, see that again. Macro time frame, we're trying to trade within the macro time frame using weekly bias. Weekly is for bias, and so this is the higher time frame. Middle time frame, the daily candles, we're going to use that as structure, as PD arrays, okay? So bias, draw liquidity, and then here we go into CRT, and then here we go into entries. That's pretty much it, right? So now we can also impose that differently as well. So because I spent like the entire last video discovering about that, right? So we can like switch the time frames around to where the 4 hour is now the monthly, okay? So we can switch it to the time you can trade. For example, on Monday, you can trade from 5 to 9, right? This is a monthly candle. Now within this monthly candle, you don't want to do anything. You just want to let it be. And once you go down to the 1 hour, which would be the weekly time frame, this is where you're going to find your bias, okay? Whatever you do, you let the first quarter of the monthly candle finish closing, okay? So here, in this 4 hour, we cut it up into 4 1 hour candles, right? The first hour candle, you just let it be. Just let it be. Do whatever it wants, okay? Just let it be. Now after that, what do is you check to see what bias it did. So in this case, it actually, I think, yeah, so after you've got that, you want to confirm what the bias did, right? So here, this is actually a 30 to the downside. I would look to short it down here, okay? So once you have your bias, right? Now it's 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock, you have your bias, you're ready, you're gonna enter in, okay? What you want to do is you want to wait for CRT, right? So go ahead and mark up the most recent candle to your left. And then go on to the lower time frame, which would be the hourly, but now here it is the 1 minutely, right? Here you're just gonna find a breaker. That's it, okay? So breaker would be here in this case, right? And the moment it closes below the breaker, it has to close within the same candle that manipulates, by the way, within the same 15-minute candle that manipulates. Once it closes below, you just enter in. Stop loss at the CRT high, targeting 1 to 2R. Okay. Now I know here we lose That's just part of it. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday. Tuesday, 5 o'clock. Okay, this is the monthly candle. Hop on down to the 1 hour. You're gonna find your bias. Okay, so you let your thing. So here you can see 1 hour closes below. This would be our bias. We're looking to short it down here, right? So here now you look on the 15-minute to see if price goes above any highs. Here you see price pretty much just immediately takes the low. Okay, you can see pretty much here price immediately just takes the low, right? Soon as it opens up. So now that the target slash bias has been reached, the bias is not in the 1 hour anymore. In fact, it's actually in the 15-minute, right? So this candle takes out this 1 hour candle's bias slash target, right? From there on, you can immediately just go down one time frame, which would now be the daily or 15-minute, right? 6 o'clock right here. This, now you have your own free reign, okay? What you can do now is you can just enter in, right? So here, not enter in, but like, you can look for another bias, right? So now imagine this 1 hour candle. Imagine this 1 hour candle here is a monthly candle now. Forget about this, right? It's a monthly candle. Imagine monthly candle. You go down to the 15-minute to try and find your bias, and you see you let the first candle print, nothing, of course, right? And then you're trying to see which what bias it made. Now here you can see it pretty much took out both sides, meaning there's no bias. It's just a weird candle, weird higher time frame, weird higher time frame. So just skip, right? Just skip it. You have nothing to do there. There's no real like move. Here we go, 4 hour. This is the monthly. Moving on to the 1 hour, which would be the weekly. We let the first candle form, and you see, I think this one actually swept the low of the previous candle. So let's go ahead and confirm that. And yep, okay, so we have CISD here, meaning now the target that this 1 hour candle created is to target this high up here. That is our high, okay? So starting from 6 o'clock to 7, right? So now we have our bias. Our bias is that this candle and the rest of the quarter is probably going to go up ahead to try and touch. No, I mean this candle is probably going to go up ahead to try and tap target the bias. Now we have a bias. So all we do now is we switch down to the daily time frame from the weekly, and we're just waiting for a CRT, right? So you would be watching this low. However, this candle pretty much tapped this. This would be a 2 candle CRT. It's not valid. So you wait for the next one, and you see there is this, okay? And now once you have your CRT marked, you go onto the lower time frame, and it's the entry now. You have your higher time frame bias. You have your PD array, which would be the CRT. Now all you have to do is just enter in. And how you enter in is a breaker. In this case, like a buy setup, it would be this low. This low is the most important low, okay? The bullish candle that goes, the last bullish candle before manipulating into the low is the breaker block. And the moment it closes above the breaker block is when it's activated. Now you can just go ahead, put your entry in. Stop loss at the extreme low. Same thing as the other time. And you just go target 1 to 2. Right? You can go break even if you want. Also, reminder, do not try and enter after it takes the high, because the CRT is no longer valid at that point. I should give you a nice win. Okay, cool. Moving on to Thursday now. Right? Thursday, 5 o'clock. Monthly down to the weekly. We're gonna find weekly bias. And you see this first candle pretty much made no bias. Literally useless as hell. So what you want to do now is on this candle where we would be trading for the bias, we go ahead and this next candle becomes the monthly. We use the fractal nature price. Wait 1, 2. And yeah, by using the fractal nature of price. Hold on, I feel like I've made a dumbass discovery. What the fuck? Okay, wait. So by nature, wouldn't that mean this is technically a sweep? Oh shit, I think so. Yeah, that's technically a sweep. So I can expect this candle to go up and attack this candle high now. Right? So off to the lower time frame. Yeah, so we have a breaker block here, I guess. This is like working from the fucking... Yeah, this is working from the daily to the 1 hour. Yeah, okay. We're using daily bias for 1 hour entry. Still 1 to 2 hour. Oops, sorry. It's 5%. God. And that's another win. Okay, okay, I feel like I've messed something up. This is just part of trouble. This is just part of it, okay, guys? Plus trust. Monthly, weekly bias. Weekly bias is impossible. It took out both highs. So we're gonna use daily bias in the next candle. Let the first candle print. We didn't get shites, I believe. Did it or did it not? It did not. Okay, cool. That's pretty much it. I guess technically you could go on forever if you had like the millisecond time frame. That's kind of just the power of CRT. Okay, so you would target this, but nah. That's not the model here, okay? You don't go lower than the 1 hour / 1 minute. So okay, let me go ahead and recheck Tuesday, because I feel like I made a mistake there at some point. Right, because our bias is lower, but we immediately take it. So meaning there's no bias, right? So we're gonna use daily bias now. Monday didn't do anything. Monday also didn't do anything, yeah. Okay. Just no trade there. Okay, guys, I feel like I've made something wrong. This is just, a video of me learning, so shush, right? But you can see. Let's go to the previous month, yeah? Let's actually show how this works. Weekly, you wait for this first candle to close out. There is nothing in this first candle. Oh, it's so laggy. What the fuck? Oh. Right, so you're just gonna use daily bias. And would you look at that? Okay, no, I had this way different in my head. When that happens, it's like you can use the daily time frame, and Tuesday is the actual one that manipulates or breaks out. Yeah, let me troubleshoot this. What the fuck? Okay, now go back, go back. You can figure this out. Come on, you can do this. Let's go to Monday. Monthly time frame. We have target. Weekly. We also have that target, right? But no. So what we want to do is we want to wait for this candle to close out. It closes out. Target is this, I know. So from there we want to just go down to the daily time frame, look for a CRT. Could be any candle if I'm honest. And on the 1 hour we're trying to enter in. I don't remember doing this on the daily. What the fuck? This is like way different from what I was actually doing last video. Don't expect a good video, guys. I'm only trying to learn what is even happening on right now. Don't even try. Don't even try. Nope. Yes. By logic, I'd enter in that candle, right? Let me actually try doing this in like an actual higher time. What the fuck did I do, bro? I seriously don't remember what I did. So okay, let me actually copy what I did last video. Okay. So our time frame to go was higher, okay? And we closed lower, so we would try to target this one. Price takes out this high and also this. So yeah. After that, since we have no weekly bias, we can just use daily bias, I guess. And here we have CRT, second PD array, fine by me. Stop loss at the breaker high, refined high, whichever one you call it. TP1, TP2, and then full TP is down there. Let's just say 1 to 3 for now. Okay. Moving on. Next week, Monday right here, I myself would be bearish. So we go here, right? So being bearish means that I will be looking out for CRTs to the downside, which I can do with few. See if I can find a breaker to enter off of. No breaker. See if we can see from you. We do have a breaker right here. If the breaker is untapped, you always want to enter the breaker. It's like a rule at that point. 1 to 3, you would definitely go break even there. Ain't that a funny ass coincidence? Okay, moving on. This week, yeah, so you have no bias, meaning whatever Tuesday does is your bias, okay? So now this would be our bias, and how I try to get there would be, I mean, this is technically not CRT, it's like a CRT subtype 7, which is none of your business, bitch. So, yeah. I could try and enter that. It's technically true, but me personally, I feel like that's definitely, that's not it. That's just not it. Something about that doesn't feel right. It manipulating previous candle low. We carry the flame. Bias is higher, we immediately take bias, so I would try to enter a long towards here. You know, simple. 1 PD array, 2 PD array right here, boop, boop. 1 to 3. And we get stopped out. Is there a certain R I should look out for, like a 2R, where I can like just go break even? Yeah, I feel like I could go break even at 2R and then, you know, lock it in type stuff. Yeah, so maybe, yeah. Let me go check again. Right now I'm just trying to learn. So, wow, wait, so I actually traded all the hours. All the hours of the 4-hour candle. Okay, that's kind of cool. We have the drawn liquidity, which is up here, right? But that doesn't matter. We're only looking at the weekly. Technically, yeah, we are bullish. But yeah. So weekly, we close up higher, I believe. Yeah, so bias would be higher. But price does whatever it dinkles, bro. I'm like winkle with my dinkle, bro. Okay, so we don't actually have breaker. We do have CISD, we just don't have breaker, which is not an entry for me. I always need my breaker. There's a breaker in this candle, there's a breaker in here. There's not a breaker there, there's not a breaker there either. But you know, you get what I mean, right? There always has to be a breaker in my eyes. We're definitely trying to go higher. So here, right, if we're looking at the daily for bias, we do have to wait for Tuesday to close out and then the subsequent candles to give bias, right? And then only once we have our actual bias, we can go ahead and trade that way, right? But when we have a weekly bias, we can just look to try and get in as early as we can using, you know, CRT and then a breaker entry. Because here, this would be breaker and I would lose this trade. I am very fine with that. It's just what it is, bro. Like, what you gonna do? Sue the markets? No. They're already manipulated, bro. Let's go ahead and target a 1 to 3. Stop loss at 1 to 2. I mean, break even at 1 to 2. Moving on. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. That's a weird week. We're just gonna immediately go for daily Tuesday. So Tuesday does that. Bias is up here. Second PD array we will encounter, just enter U and this FEG. Right, target U, stop loss 1 to 3. So we've lost 2R that week. Frick off! I don't need charging. I'm a pro, bro. So how do I say that? Like that looks like a manipulation. You get what I mean? Cause it is okay. So I would definitely have a bias. That's like, go lower, fucker, go lower, and I'm like, okay, fine. Let me just, yeah, no, delete that. It's kind of annoying now. You're mean mugging me. You're mean mugging me. What the fuck? Do I even get entered in there? Like, could I even find a 1 hour entry? By that I mean, do we have break? No, we don't. Okay, KYS. Right? Monday pretty much invalidates this bias. So we just look at Tuesday for guidance, and guidance Tuesday delivers. We're going to target that high because it broke higher. Second PD array we will ever encounter is the entry. So we have this FEG right here. Right? Target 1 to 3R. Most likely we lose. Yikes. 1 to 2 would not survive either. Haha. So we're down 3R, but technically I would not enter this anymore since we've already hit the target. Get out of here. Yeah, I would not, because I've already hit the damn target. If the target's been hit, guys, just stay away. It's not worth it. Why try getting shot when it's already been shot? Wise words, young man. Wise words. We closed higher. I'm gonna say we want to go higher. I wanna go higher with you. I wanna go higher with you. What in the name of the devil is this? What the fuck is this? What even is this mess, bruh? Some bullshit for real. I'd be trying to target 1 to 3 when I can't even get a damn 1 to 2. Whatever. We have like what, 1, 2, 3 straight wins. 6R minus 3 losses. I think that's the kind of like way it goes, you know. Every 4-hour candle. Is when we break even. Let me do one more week. I have to go study for exams, man. Frick. I mean, I'm doing pretty well on my exams. I think I'm gonna get good marks. You know. If you guys are asking why I died for like a few months, I just, you know, been not doing day trading that much, so yeah, kind of been that way. Okay, weekly, what bias do we have? Good sir, we want to go bearish. Okay, you want to go bearish? Okay, little bro. No chance. Literally nah. right? So since bias gets deleted or slash target gets hit, we can now use daily bias, and Tuesday closes lower, meaning we're gonna probably target that low there. Remember, if the target gets hit, you do not trade. What the frick was on the tick, bro? I would still probably enter. Cause I'm gonna be like, no, 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 it's gonna keep going down. I swear. Look at this, you know. And that, boys, is exactly how you lose everything in life. Yours. This is a sweep. I can tell that's a sweep, right? So we're gonna try going higher. I believe, yeah, I've already checked this. There is no breakers on the lower time frame. We're just gonna ignore that week. That's I think that's a weird week. That's a weird week. Yeah, haha. That's also a weird fucking. What the hell is that? Tuesday, I ask you for guidance. You give me bullshit. What is this? Huh? There's no breaker. Okay. Literally, the breaker is the saving grace. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. Weird week. Blah blah blah. Oh, shut the fuck up, Nyaka. Okay. Love is like a game. Don't you notice how I get quiet when there is no one else around? Just me and you and awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain. Listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. Unrequited, terrifying. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Shut up, no one cares. Why am I singing all of a sudden? Okay, I think that's enough of a refresher. I'm gonna like write this down or something. Actually, never mind, because I'm not gonna write that down. I'm just gonna. I have some random in my notes. Let me just, yeah. Time frames. Macro. Higher. One year, yeah. Okay, it would just be like. This would be like. No, like I kind of want to use the monthly as like a like you know how you like journal and you do like weekly journals or daily journals or whatever. Like I would want to journal all my trades once every month. Like that's why the macro thing exists, right? For some people, they journal, they take trades and then after the week ends, they journal. So like their macro time frame is like the weekly, you get what I mean? I kind of want to do it like the monthly. So yeah, it's like, how do I name this? Journal? Fuck it, ball. Okay. We've got bias. Okay, and then we've got CRT. Okay. Entry. Yeah. Uh, something like um towards the bias. Something like, yeah, so towards the bias. I'm literate, so I want to make it look beautiful. So right now what I'm writing out is the swing. I mean the sweep version. Okay. I have such a good idea. Oh my god. If model number 2 where there's no weekly bias and Tuesday does a boys, where do I look to enter again? Like I believe I try to enter either on the breaker. This is becoming a damn essay at this point. And next, what do I have? I feel like I could how can I clarify that? It must have a breaker. It must have the same candle as the entry. And it's pretty much already there. Yeah. I can come to fix this later. Jesus Christ. keep it as notes. Alright, let's go. Okay, wait, I need to add something. Okay. Save this as notes. The fuck you mean notes, bro? Okay, so I have it noted down now. Cool. Alright, so that took way longer than I would want. But now I know exactly what is supposed to be done. I can actually look to, get good at that. So, weekly bias. We have a bias right there, and who's to say the bias already got it? I'll study at 8 p.m. I swear, I'll study at 8 p.m. I'll study at 8 p.m. guys, I swear. Yeah, okay, so we have nothing. So 1 and 2. Okay, so this is a model 2A. Okay, model 2A, where Tuesday gives us the bias, and on the hourly, okay, on the hourly we're gonna try and enter in on breaker or first encountered PD array. Okay, wait, I have to make sure there's actually a breaker here. Oh, there's no breaker. Haha. Okay. So, that would have caught you off guard now, didn't it? You would not have seen that as a real threat there. Okay, so we would sweep, meaning weekly bias is down here. So on the daily, we're just looking for highs to get swept and eventually give us a model number 1. God damn. Not you. If I were to say it was you, then I would need to say is this Bay. So this is what? This is a model. This is a model 2A? No, this is a model 1. Yeah, this is a model 1. Where the breaker is just out of reach. We actually don't get entered in on the same candle for some reason. Do I? I don't even get entered in here, so I would not look to get entered in. That is so sad. Damn. Yeah, it revisits later on, but that's none of my business now anymore, is it? Damn. Oh well, just part of it, I guess. I cannot say if that was sleep or not. I have to go check. That is not sleep. Okay, so that's just a weird week. This would be model 2A now. Okay, so we just wait. Is this a sweep? Might I know what that is? I have not had one trade. Breaker. Nope. Safe. Amazing. Safe. Okay, so our bias is definitely lower. And lower. So this would be model 2B. Wow, the whole trio is here. The whole trio. Amazing. Right, now the thing is you could do this on any time frame as long as you have that framework, you know. So if I were to have entered in, I would try and enter up here. That's what I would do. But no, we hit the target, and you know we are not supposed to trade the target. Trade when the target has been hit. So we stop, and we know that we are done for the day. Got nothing done, like usual. So we're gonna be bearish. Yeah. Being bearish, I would like to see a sweep. Or just that, where it takes out, so we can now... I can now do this. Tuesday gives me guidance in a model 2A. It doesn't. Because there's no flipping breaker. We're definitely gonna try and get lower. Yeah, so we're just gonna have to wait. Nothing. Literally nothing. So target's there. Yeah, we don't give a shite. I don't know how I feel about that. That's not nice, is it? Well, there's no breaker. So there goes your answer. I wouldn't have any like entries anyway. I feel like just doing this on the daily would be way better. But we would have to skip out on model number 1s. Which, you know, I guess is a fair trade-off, maybe? I have no idea. We're bullish. Scrap that, we're bearish. Scrap that, target gets hit. Oof. No entry. Okay. Let's just keep going. Let me at least finish the week. I want to stop so bad. Target. We do get the sweep, I see. Module number 1. Exclamation mark. Is that a module number 1? I think that's a module number 1, boys. Oh my god. Shush. Yeah. Yeah, okay. manipulate, and inside the same candle we're already looking to get to busyness. We're getting down to business. Target is a 1 to 3. We do go break even here. I don't know the results, so I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit, but I will look to go break even here. So yeah, just set an alert there, I guess. Oh. Okay, cool. We just made 3R. Nice. Okay. First actual miniature trade. Ends up nice. Very cool. I'm not cute anymore. 'Cause I'm not cute anymore. This is the target up here. Right, and so we're just looking for, this is a model number 1. We're just waiting for a C2 to be made. We're gonna try and enter in on a model, on a breaker. I still don't know if I should, look to trade this on Euro or GU. I think Euro, but GU still has its own good stuff. So here is a problem. This low is not low, it's just... yeah, no, I just skipped that. Nope. Sorry, buddy. Technically, your CRT just not my taste, so I'm just gonna skip you, buddy. And we get, what the frick is this, bro? Are we down or up? Definitely we're looking to be down, so bias is down here for 7 o'clock. Wow, we're getting model number 1s left and right, aren't we? There's like a super scalping strategy. If you miss like a single second, you are done. You are cooked. Say goodnight, little boy. Yeah, I'd probably enter that. That's the thing. That's the thing here, right? We're supposed to enter within the same candle. Wah, wah, wah. It's 15. No trade. I like how the rules just save you from a loss. It's just so nice. I love it. Right? Technically, that was probably a, that was definitely a CISD. We're gonna skip that and, yeah, so our target is up here. I'm not cute anymore. But I'm not cute anymore. Fuck off, bro. This video is almost as long as my longest video. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say something else, weren't you? Okay. I have a question. What am I supposed to frippin' do? Like, that's not a breaker. A breaker cannot physically touch the low. This candle cannot touch the low. I'm sorry, buddy. But this is the actual breaker, and it would, the price would have hit the target before you get entered in. So nah, flip out of here, kiddo. You don't deserve life. You deserve death. Okay, we have a target lower. Oh hell no! I am not check. I have to check all 4. Dude, I'd rather just go on like the daily time frame and only trade Model 2s and Model 2A and Model 2B. And that's way simpler than having to scalp this bullshit. Yeah, fuck this, bro. Fuck this. You know what? What I'ma do is simple. Is actually super simple. Watch. I'ma just come every damn weekend and I'ma just mark out what this week is about to do, right? Of course, I'll mark out the macro, which is the monthly, right? But I'll come every weekend. Like, let's just say February, right? February. Okay. I'll find out the bias, which is right here. And all I'm gonna try and trade is Model 2A, Model 2B. That's it. That's it. Because I don't wanna be there scalping for like 4 hours straight. That's just not fun to do, bro. I'd rather get it done in like the first 5 minutes of the day, literally after I wake up, rather than scalp for 4 hours a day. Like that's just so stupid, right? Yeah, I'd rather wait weeks to get setups. Like maybe 1 or 2 weeks to get setups than whatever this shit is, bro. Like nah. Okay, so here, of course, this example wouldn't work. This is a breakdown lower. And I believe on Friday, it did not. It obviously hit the target first. Okay, let's just see like the previous week. Actually, no, actually, let's go with like a random pair, see how well it would perform. Okay, I do not know any, and what I'm gonna get. NZD Chef, okay, the most volatile. Yeah, actually, no, I'm gonna like respin it because I do have like other things that I'm looking out for. You guys might be like, what is that? I'm like, shit, I don't know. Shit, I don't know. Okay. Okay. So here, the bias is definitely downward. Okay, and after price takes this out, yeah. So yeah, okay. Tuesday gives us a bias, Model 2B. And we will try to enter the second encounterable PD array, which is U and U, so it'd be U. U would be the entry. Wow. Wow. Don't you see how cool that looks? Wow, do you see how cool that just looks? That looks so cool. It's as if I was studying this for 2 days straight. I don't fucking know, bro. I only came to this realization because I was bored out of my mind and I wanted to like beat my meat, but like, nah. Let me hop on the charts. NZDJPY. Okay, what the fuck? Okay, so last week is a weird week. We're fine. Okay. Target, entry. I would not enter, right? I would try to get entry here, but price already takes the target. And that's none of my business. Yeah. Let's go again. Let's just do random three examples from this week. Not NCD Chef, bro. Okay, Cat Chef. I don't think Cat Chef even gave us anything. Nope. Why are we getting AUD? Why are we getting chef pairs, bro? Like that is so gay. What? That feels like a sweep if I'm not wrong. That feels like a wow. That is a sweep. Oh my god. So we do have a bias. We cannot trade this. I'm so sorry, guys. Please give it like a euro something, like a euro pair. Okay. Wow. Didn't even have to ask. Of course you had to. Okay. we have a bias that goes lower. Yeah, actually no, it gets invalidated in 2 seconds. Right, so the bias would be to get higher. Go higher. Wow, guys, I think I was trying to enter down here. Things like I'm not free from 21 to 5, like, because I'm at school. So I guess I won't be thundercocked with entries, like a bad entry. So that's 2 examples. Stop giving me chef pairs. No USD pairs either, please. Oh my god. GBJ boy. Okay, that's not bad. Fine, I can do GBJ boy. I wanna say where. I wanna say we switched bullish. We're not. That's a weird week. Did you know? 1 out of every 4 months. No, 1 out of every 3 weeks is a weird week. Okay, this is the final example I'm gonna show. I mean, technically, I could do this with like every pair, and maybe in the long run I'll make money. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. Okay, that's enough for this video. Fuck off. Sorry. So I think, yeah, this is definitely like a good starting point where I found how to find bias, and I found how like I could possibly take trades towards that bias, you know. I do not have data or anything about this strategy, so if I ever want to trade this, I think I would need to spend like 2 months verifying its performance, verifying its performance for like 2 months. I think that should be fine. But yeah, it'd be better if I had like a year of data on each, a year of data. But by that I mean like a year of data is basically 28 years of data, which is not, because I'm like supposed to trade 28 fucking pairs. I'm not doing that, not doing all that. So I think what I should do is I should just like pick one main currency, which like should technically be USD, just because it has, you know, every pair, and technically everything else is own. But like, I could just main the majors. I could just main Euro XXX. I could just main GBP XXX. Like I need to find one market, one currency, and just fuck the hell out of it. Milk it for everything it has. Drink its blood. I'm so deranged. Okay. Yeah, so I have a basic premise now, right? I am like doing a swing trading thing on the background till like till the end of March, till end of Q1, and only after that will I actually switch strategies. So because I've had a problem with switching strategies. So yeah, I think during this time I could backtest and or maybe I could like forward test. Yeah, I could actually forward test, like it's a weekend right now, right? And prepare for the summer, because summer is coming literally by Thursday. It is Saturday right now. School is about to end soon. Hell yeah. Alright, see y'all. Bye bye. That's probably the. Shut up. Goddamn, go to sleep.